Thank you very much. Great to be back in Adelaide, here to tell the story on Sipa. Now, if you don't take anything else away from this talk, it's those 3 bullet points on the right-hand side. We're gold focused, we've got first drilling planned for this quarter, and our projects are in excellent locations. So a quick corporate snapshot, a couple of key numbers to have a look at here. One is our EV, less than $3 million. The other is, got a couple of our major shareholders here, Stephen in the audience, who's also on the board, and we've also got Lowell as a couple of our major shareholders. Very active and engaged board, very good mix of experience from technical to corporate, to the market. Everyone, as I said, is very engaged, and that's evident by the fact that 60% of our board is actually in the audience today. And that's all underpinned by Anna Price, who is our exploration manager, very good geologist, very proactive, and been doing a fantastic job. So a little bit about Sipa. We are now very much gold focused, as you can see from the orange projects that we acquired. We announced that in December last year and finalised that transaction in February this year, pivoting from our large-scale early-stage greenfields exploration to much more dynamic exploration in fantastic locations and good jurisdictions. So zooming into our South Australian projects, we acquired 3 in South Oz, Tunkillia North, Knuckalla Hill and Skye. Excellent neighbourhood. You can see some of our peers who are doing some fantastic work in and around us. Barton Gold, you'll hear me mention Barton quite a few times today, thanks to their 1.6 million ounce Tunkillia deposit. Indiana Resources and Marmota. As you can see, their market caps are orders of magnitude larger than what ours are. They're all doing really, really good work. So we're very happy to be in this jurisdiction and in this sort of geological environment. We can see large-scale gold deposit potential, as you can see from plus million ounce deposits at both Challenger and Tunkillia. Zooming into a little bit for Tunkillia North and Knuckalla Hill. So easily some of the best geology that we have seen in the past year when we've been assessing a lot of projects. This is absolutely outstanding, and we're really quite surprised at the lack of exploration that's been undertaken in this part of the world. So, the standard joke is the best place to find gold is where there's already gold. And on the Yalbrinda shear zone that you can see through there, that's sort of plus 80 kilometre strike, you've got a 1.6 million ounce deposit to the north of us. On our Knuckalla Hill project, there's been very, very little drilling all the way down the strike of the Yalbrinda. So very fertile shear zones, lots of fluids, lots of gold been going through it. So Tunkillia North is to the immediate north of Barton's Tunkillia Gold Project, and Knuckalla Hill is to the immediate south. We've already been on site there. We've done our ground reconnaissance. Our drill planning is very much advanced, and we've already started the heritage survey process. So all of the projects that we've acquired have got native title agreements. They're all in place. We've got good relationships with them. It's just a matter of getting out on ground and finishing the surveys, and then we'll roll the drill rigs in. Zooming into Tunkillia North, so one of the very successful sampling methods in South Australia has been sampling the gold to demonstrate calcrete anomalies. As you can see there, over Tunkillia itself, there's a calcrete anomaly. 10 k's to the north, we've got a big stonking 5x5k calcrete anomaly. It's only had one line of drilling across it by MIM, who are focused on base metals. So this is going to be one of our first prospects that we're going to go in and drill in our first round of drilling coming in the next couple of months. We've also done a calcrete sampling survey over that anomaly. We're expecting those results pretty soon, and that'll assist us in guiding exactly where those holes go. So looking at it from another perspective, you can see the orange outline of that big calcrete anomaly there. You can see in the blue, that's the top end of the Yalbrinda shear zone, and it shows how much drilling has actually been put into Tunkilia by Barton and previous explorers. Then you've got the east-west Yerta shear zone coming across through the central part of our project, and you can see all the black dots are there, all the drill holes that have been put in, and you just compare and contrast the amount of drilling that's been done on Barton's ground and Tunkilia versus the amount of drilling that's been done on our ground. So as you can see, even though you've got a huge deposit to the immediate south, there's been very, very little drilling done on our ground. Obvious targets that will follow up is Tunkilia North that I mentioned before, as well as Arcorderby, which is up into the northeast. Nucala Hill, we've got 40 kilometre strike of the Yalbrinda. You can see there in blue, the same shear that hosts Tunkilia 15 kilometres to the north. And you can just see the lack of drilling that's been done in such a stonking shear zone. You know there's gold in this system thanks to Tunkilia. There's already been a couple of other sniffs found by previous explorers at Sheoak and Bimba, yet it's been massively underexplored. There's so much more work to do in this part of the world, and we're really, really bullish about the potential of the Yalbrinda shear. And this is just a highlight of some of the work that's been done by historical explorers. These are cross sections at Bimba and Sheoak. As you can see, there's multiple plus 1 gram per tonne intercepts by Equinox from the 90s. And these are obvious follow-up drill targets for us to test at depth and along strike. Numbers, as you can see there, 7 metres at 3.1, so there's some quite reasonable grades in it. And also 24 at 1, so it shows it's got some decent scale to it. So we've been on site, we've already started the heritage process for these two areas, and we'll look to follow up this drilling in the next couple of months. And last but definitely not least of the South Australian projects, we've got Sky. This is up not far from Challenger. This is more northwest of the two projects that I had a look at before, that I showed before. It's just along strike from Gulf Bore, which has got 119,000 ounces, and it's not far away from Marmota's Aurora tank, which has been getting some fantastic, really high-grade results. So definitely some more work to do there. We're collating all the data, and then we'll work out what our grand program is there. Switching states over to Western Australia. So this is the fourth project that we picked up. Fantastic location, 40 kilometres from Kalgoorlie. Anna and myself went out there not long after we picked it up. We're basically on ground 40 minutes out of Kalgoorlie. It's crisscrossed by numerous tracks. And the other thing is it's only 40 kilometres by road to the Lakewood Gold Processing Plant. Very much strategically located. We're pretty much surrounded by Black Cat and very close to their majestic mining centre. As you can see from all the yellow dots and the small resources that are listed there, it's a very fertile area. There's a lot of gold to be found in this part of the world. But having said that, we don't actually need to find anything particularly big to be able to generate shareholder value, given the location of the Lakewood processing plant and also the proximity to all of Black Cat's operations, their Kalgoorlie East ops. There's a good opportunity to add a lot of value pretty quickly just by rolling in the drill rigs and discovering something. So as I said, we've already been on site, we've undertaken our targeting studies, and the heritage survey process is very much underway. So we're looking at rolling in the drill rigs later on this quarter. So remember I mentioned those 3 key points at the start. So you've got well-positioned projects. In South Australia, Nucala Hill and Tunkilia North are located adjacent to a 1.6 million ounce deposit, yet have had very little exploration, particularly drilling. WA, Crown, located adjacent to Black Cat's Cal East operations, trucking distance to Lakewood as well as other third-party mills in the region. All the projects have excellent geology and with really good logistics. Heritage agreements are in place, and we just need to get the surveys done, then we'll roll the drill rigs in. So very much gold focused. pivoted from the more base metals focus, recognising the environment, but to focus on much more nimble style of exploration, generate good news flow and get the drill rigs turning and go out and find something. And hence exploration activities are ramping up. And I guess the last point that I don't have on here, as I touched on in the corporate overview, with an EV of less than 3 mil, with all of this work coming up and a gold focus, huge leverage to any exploration success that we've got, considering that our peers are all order of magnitudes higher than what we are. Thanks very much for listening to the Sipa story. If you want to come and find out a little bit more, come and talk to Stephen or I in the booth. Thank you.